Welcome back to another video for HarborFinancialOnline.com. Today I'm going to be talking about the IRS mileage tax rates and how much mileage you can report and get reimbursed for. So let me get the video going here. I'm going to try to make this as easy as possible for you guys out there. So the current mileage rate for business travel is 50 cents per mile. This amount normally changes year to year based on the costs of gas and oil and all that together, the transportation costs. This is set by the federal government, so that is going to change, but the current amount is 50 cents per mile. Charitable contribution mileage rate is 14 cents per mile, and the medical and moving mileage rate is 16.5 cents per mile. So a lot of people don't realize for moving you can get reimbursed on those travel expenses, the per mile that you travel by car. This isn't by air, but it's just by car. You can deduct the business mileage rate from anything related to your business. So what I'm talking about here is for small businesses, Schedule C filers, which if you don't know what a Schedule C is and you're new to business, you can check out my other videos, any Schedule C business video, and that's going to explain the form to you. But what you can do on there is that 50 cents per mile, you can report that for your small business, and any travel that you did related to your business, you're going to get a 50 cent per mile deduction that you don't have to pay tax on. Now, traveling to charities, which I talked about in the first slide, the charitable amount is 14 cents per mile. It has to be a qualified charity. On the IRS website, you can find a list of charities that are qualified and they ensure that you'll get the deduction, but not all of them are on there. So basically you have the main areas that will be qualified will be a church, Salvation Army, and any organizations that are similar to that. For your business or for any of these other mileage deductions, you can use the same car for personal, business, all of it can be the same car. You'll just split up the mileage for each function that you did. So if you have mileage for medical, mileage for a small business, personal, it can all be on the same car. Make sure if you have any medical trips, especially if you're an elderly person filing your tax return, you might have a lot of trips to the doctor. You can get a good deduction for that. Just make sure you're keeping records of all the mileage to and from the doctor, so it's not just to the doctor, it's returning back as well. If your employer doesn't reimburse you the full amount for any travel per mile, you can claim the difference. So what I mean here, you get that 50 cents per mile. Let's say your employer is only willing to reimburse you 30 cents per mile. Well, then you're still entitled the extra 20 cents to get to the total of 50 cents per mile. So on your tax return, which I'm going to show you the form 2106 is where you report this, and you can report that difference and get it. If you're moving for a job, you can qualify for the mileage deduction. This is only if you're moving because of the job, and you're going to need some kind of documentation that says that you had to move this location for the job. You can't move there and then go find a job. It's if you're getting relocated or you're in a current job and you were provided an offer and you sign that offer, you have the job, you're in the process of moving. Now on our website, HarborFinancialOnline.com, you can use our free online tax estimator, and you can put in these different mileage amounts and you can see how it affects your refund and how it's going to increase it by reporting the mileage deduction. I want to take you to the form 2106. This form gets attached to your regular 1040 tax return that you prepare, and this is the 2106, which is part of Schedule A. Now this is why I recommend doing the return online electronically. because it's going to bring in all these forms for you. I'm probably confusing you with all the forms, but 2106 is if you work for someone and you're reporting the mileage deduction on here. Now in Schedule A is where you report for medical, charitable, all those miles you drove. Okay? And then if you have a small business, that'll get reported on Schedule C, all of the mileage. Which, like I said, I have other videos on the Schedule C, so you can see how to report the mileage deduction on the Schedule C on those videos. It's very similar to here. You can see it ask questions. For example, when the vehicle is put into date, how much is driven for personal, how much for business, and the percentage amounts. You'll need a full log of all these mileage amounts, and that's your proof. If you were ever to get an audit, that's what you have as your proof and your odometer on your car. Now here's our website, harborfinancialonline.com. We offer more information if you want to know about some of the small business deductions related to the mileage deduction. You can see here on the left we have a few different links to small business information, so I recommend checking that out. It's very easy to get to our online calculator, which I talked about. Here's a link right here. Here's a link as well, and you can click on these. It'll take you to that and you can put in those amounts. Again, Form 2106, you can download this off the IRS website. And if you don't want to do the mileage deduction, you can do actual vehicle expenses. So if you had expenses for that car, you can report it on here as well. I appreciate you watching the video. Check out some other videos in our website, harborfinancialonline.com. Thank you.